Battery engineering has been going on in the automotive industry since the dawn of time. In fact, even before you and I were born. Just in India itself, we have Hyundai partnering up with Kia. We have Volkswagen partnering up with Skoda. And why should Maruti not have any fun? After all, Maruti is the #1 car maker in India. Together with Toyota, they've come up with some great products. But this time, they have a flagship on their hand. Meet the Maruti Invicto. The front fascia is similar but is handsome in Maruti Suzuki's design language. Well, as you can see, there's a large Suzuki badge right up here. There's some chrome bling as well, along with a Nexa 3-point LED and an LED indicator. All LED setup on this car. This is undoubtedly an MPV and a freaking long car. Along with it, you also get disc brakes on all the 4 tires, but it misses out on request sensors. At its rare, it's familiar to many cars of this particular stature, but the 3-point LEDs again differentiate as a Nexa product. You also get a hybrid badge because this is the only configuration that this car is available in. And a Maruti first for a powered tailgate. Despite the 3-row adult seating in this particular car, you also get a usable boot area of 239 litres. You can also drop down the last row and liberate up to 690 litres of boot space. The monocoque chassis of the Invicto allows for a spacious 3rd row. You can slide either of the middle rows up front and just walk in here and sit. Now when you get the seat in the upright position, this is one of the most spacious 3rd rows that you will find on the Indian market. And now Maruti Invicto brings it in the Maruti arsenal. Not only is the 3rd row of the Invicto very spacious, but you also get 2 cup holders on either ends of this particular car, along with storage areas and 12V sockets, along with dedicated AC vents for the 3rd row. Unlike the Toyota Innova Hycross, this car misses out on the Ottoman seats, but these seats are fairly comfortable and have deep recline angles as well. The Invicto also gets multi-zone climate control. Thereby you have your individual AC controls right up here, and there's 2 USB Type-C ports at the bottom. You also get a foldable tray along with cup holders right in the middle. You can put it away and there'll be passage for you to pass through to the 3rd row. Last but not the least, you get sun blinds. What's really interesting is that for a Maruti, this one also gets memory seats. There'll also be option for multi-zone AC, and not just that, ventilated seats up front. But surprisingly enough, there are certain misses. There's no request sensor, there's no cooled glove box, and wireless charger is an optional accessory like many other optional accessories that Maruti will be offering from their Nexa dealership. There's also a 360-degree camera, which is not as clear as you would expect from a car of this particular price bracket. There's also drive modes, and there's an individual sport mode as well. So the drive modes include power, eco and normal, and there's also a drive selector with normal drive and sport mode. Not just that, this car also has a dedicated EV mode. Thereby it always starts in the EV mode and is very silent. You can also go around a few kilometers in this mode without making a noise. Maruti Invicto is powered by a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine. On its own, this one produces 156 bhp of power and 188 Newton meters of torque. Now this one is paired with an AC Synchronous motor on its own, which produces 113 bhp of power and 206 Newton meters of torque. Now combined, they produce 186 bhp of power, which propels the Invicto from standstill like a diesel. This engine and motor combination is paired with an e-CVT transmission. This has 6 steps, and not just that, they'll also have drive modes. There's power mode, there's eco mode, and there's the normal mode. Surprisingly enough, Maruti has also kept good NVH levels. Now in here, you do not feel much, but you always hear the e-CVT transmissions straining that engine and motor combination, especially when you press the throttle hard. Maruti has also paired the Invicto with an electronic power steering. This is very light in city and weighs apt when the speeds pick up. To give you some added bit of fun, there's also some paddle shifters here. Now, being a CVT transmission. There's no real gear changes to go through, but it does affect the way you drive. And if you really want to stop this car on a dime, those 4-disc brakes do come in handy, but the amount of mass that this car carries when it's in speed, that is too much for those brakes as well. You will have to stomp on them hard to make this car come to a standstill from triple-digit speeds. Thanks to the size of the Invicto, everything in here, you get a panoramic view of just about everything. It's also a very commanding driving position, therefore you're seated much higher, and even the bonnet is visible right from here. Despite the 17-inch alloys on the Invicto, this does not feel under-tired. In fact, it handles road undulations just like the Innova Hycross with its 18 inches. A big miss on the Invicto is the lack of ADAS technology. Now that is the reason why maybe this car is so well priced. Just like the Innova Hycross, the Invicto also has a monocoque chassis and it rides like one. Road undulations will be felt a bit, but not as much. The suspension setup is very comfortable. It's tuned toward the comfort end of things, but when the speeds pick up, it also handles the car really well. The Toyota Innova Hycross has sold thousands of cars and has a waiting period so long that it has stopped taking bookings for it. The Maruti Suzuki Invicto has also garnered more than 6,500 bookings. Now, this is a great example of collabs done right. The Maruti Invicto is currently the flagship product from the house of Maruti, and priced at just over 24 lakh rupees, it brings great value for money and quality to the Maruti stable. What do you feel about the Maruti Invicto? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, Maruti is also offering thousands of accessories with this particular car, from chrome blink all across to even choices of materials inside the cabin and more. Let us know if you like the Maruti Invicto in the comment section below. Also, what are your thoughts on this collaboration and all the other collaborations that are happening across India? Stay tuned for a full review as and when we get this car in our garage. For everything else, stay tuned to Top Gear India and like, share and subscribe for all the goodies in life.